Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the season 2 Shaherald Nightlife. This is episode 2. Suicidal Freethinker found hope in Islam. So, before we begin, I just want to share you, even for Sister Reese, she has her own YouTube channel and it's called Reeseology. Let me put her up on the front. Why I'm talking about this right now, although it's side topic, but the main thing is because of her recent video that she shared regarding pornography, which I thought was really insightful. Mainly is because she has this discussion with her sister on pornography, and I think you should watch more about it on her own YouTube channel. You can see Reseology as her tagline on her name says Reseology. Yeah, so maybe Reese, you can give the audience like a glimpse of what this video is about, so that they are enticed to go to watch.
Okay, so hi, my name is Rusi and I'm a revert. I live in Canada, and recently I discovered that my 11-year-old sister was watching pornography on her iPad because she lives, away from me and she lives with like my parents, and then my parents don't really know anything about the pornography world. So they allow her to have an iPad all the time, and because she's on the iPad all the time, she's watching YouTube, she's watching a bunch of different things, and many of those things are inappropriate and not suitable for kids. The thing is, it's not her fault because she's only 11 years old. The thing is, she stumbled upon this by accident, and this is how bad habits also form. And in the video that I recently uploaded, I have a real, genuine conversation with my 11-year-old sister on how she overcame her pornography habit. So give that a watch after this if you have some time.
Okay, thanks for sharing that, Sister Reese. Hang on, can you guys hear me? Okay, good.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Sorry. Some technical issues. Okay, so without much further ado, I'll just introduce tonight's panelists. We have on the top right here, Brother Iskander, all the way from the Netherlands. Welcome
Assalamu
him.
alaikum.
Thank you again, brother, for joining us. And next we have is Sister Reese. As you already met, she shared about her video that she did with her sister on her YouTube channel. Do check it out. She's all the way from Toronto, Canada. And okay, so without much further ado, I'll share with you Brother Shafiq, who will be sharing his story, how he
Assalamualaikum.
eventually came to find Islam. Assalamualaikum, brother. Thanks for joining us. You're all the way from Malaysia. Thanks for being a part of this initiative today. So please share with us how you know what's your backstory? How did it all come together? How did Islam eventually come to your life? Yeah.
Mm. So in the beginning, actually, I didn't see any Islam practice around me. Lah, actually, I have a lots of Malay Muslim friends in Malaysia, but mostly I didn't. If I did not even see them have a good practice, because
Mm.
as my history is when during I was a free thinker, I mix around with all my Malay Muslim friends, but mostly they are all involved in drug addict.
Oh.
So I didn't see the real practice from them. And then, but I born as a Taoism family.
Mm.
So it's quite, for me, it's quite something that miracle actually. On during my primary school, I think it's in standard four. I think my grandma having a prayers on the ancestor.
Okay.
So as we know, as the Chinese Taoism, they when they doing the prayers on the ancestor, they preparing all the roasted chicken, roasted duck, everything, right? So I just suddenly ask her. I say, uh, Grandma, if I didn't have any money, I having an economical problem. So how do I prepare all this? Even though if I'm a poor man, I cannot afford to buy all this thing. So which means our ancestor won't bless me, right? So my grandma didn't give me any the answer that I want. She just told me that you just follow because this is what we did since your great grandmother and great grandfathers. So you
Mhm.
just followed it. So I'm quite not satisfied lah at that time. So and by the time being, so I feel that is not the one that I want. So in standard five, end of standard five, I joining a Buddhism class. But for a few months, not so long. But as we know, the practice in Buddhism also, they also, some of the places they also mix with lots of idols. They have the Guan Yin, they have all the what we call the Tian Gong, everything. So I'm a bit confused on that because they all trusted the way that is from Gautama Buddha, mostly all the thoughts of Gautama Buddha. But I can't get on it is when during they are reciting the scriptures. It's all in Sanskrit. Actually, they translate it in Romanized it in Mandarin. So I can't understand. I can't understand. At the end also, I don't know what they are reciting for. It's only follow the monk. Then at end of the program, as is end of the program, the monk we're having a mass. They were having a mass, a sort like a taskirah lah, about half an hour. It's talking about the eternity and then the karma, everything. So uh, in about 1 year plus, so I also uh, get also didn't join the society already because I can't get what I want. Actually, I don't know. At that time, I don't know what I want actually, but it's something that cannot satisfy me. I cannot get the true answer for me. And then a few years ago, during my standard six and until form four, I didn't go to any do the prayers. I didn't follow any of my family's any ritual. So I just simply pass my day like that. And then on form four, I have a group of friends, is a Christian Protestant. They keep on visiting me at that time, especially on weekends. They, I think it's every weekends they come to my house. So I a bit attracted when the program, the gathering program is end. Each of them they having a prayers. So I'm quite attracted with that. So I just offer myself. I say, can I join you? Because when they go to my house, they don't even talk about the religion. They don't even talk about their religion. But I attracted with the way when they going to end their program, their gathering, each of them they have a prayers. So as a dua for us. So I'm quite attracted. So I offer myself, and then on during Form 5, beginning of Form 5, I'm baptized. But after I'm baptized, it's about 3 months. I think I take 3 months. So the sickness is come again. So I feel that time I was sick, because I'm looking for something that maybe it's not appeared. Because I'm reading the New Testament, because Protestant Christian, they are using the New Testament Bible. So after I finish it, I find something that there's a dialogue between Jesus and God. So it means there's a dialogue that he is doing the prayers, he is doing the dua to God. But what I found out is why Christians need to dua through Jesus and then go to the God. So I asked them, but they can't give me the real answer. And then I also asked them about the scriptures of Bible, the original text. How do I get it, the original text? Because some of the churches they having a new edition every year. So I'm not. For me, it's a bit suspicious on that. Is that really a Bible from God? The Bible is from God. So after 3 months, so that time I think also I'm finished my Form 5 studies, so I also get up from the society and don't want to join them because my mom is very uh, mad on me because my mom is herself is a Catholic, so Protestant Christian is not ngam. It's not ngam. So my mother always scold me, if you join them, they don't have mom, because in Catholic they trust, they believe in Mother Mary actually. in the church of Catholic, they have Mother Mary idols inside. But for Protestant, they didn't have. So my mom, where it's all the time when I go to the church, she's scolding me. So at the end, when I quit from Protestant Christian, so uh, getting slowly, I didn't trust any religion at that time because during that time when I finished my Form 5, I took my diploma in computer programming actually, but by the time being I also working. So start from that, I'm not trust any religion. So I just trust on myself. I didn't believe any religion really because for me at that time I said, where where I can find God? Because when I have difficulties, where God's come to help me?
Mm-hmm.
God didn't show me. If you really have the God in this world, please show me something. Please show me something. And even getting worse is when I working as my position as a retail executive at that time. I think it's in beginning of year 2000, beginning of year 2000. I'm promoted as a retail executive. So my salary is very so can say very high salary that time because I'm still single at the time. So from Malaysia ringgit that time, my salary per month average is about 4,000. So peak season, even though peak season 3 months altogether average, can get net 20,000. So it's very high actually, but it's still not enough because I'm looking for branded. When I saw my friend, they wearing branded, I also want it. They having a branded cars, I also want it. So I trying to compare. I trying to compare with other people. They rich, more rich than me. So at that time, I'm trying to look for more money.
Nice.
So I in coincidence I involved in drug trafficking first, and then I myself also involved as a drug user. So it's quite hard for me to get up from there. Why? Because during that time I'm a retail executive is quite busy because I myself below me I have 13 outlet to handle. Each outlet I have four brand to handle. So end of the month I need to check for 44 sets of reports, the inventory report with a tiny little form. So I have need to check. So at that time I slowly involved with what we call drugs, what we call ice. So
Mm-hmm.
it make me more energetic to handle my work. And then some, and in the same way, so I try to sell because I look at it, it's quite a lots of money if I can gain a lots of money from them. So my life is getting worse and worse and worse. Even though actually I am my mom's sons, so I quite so everything when my mom told me everything I can accept. But during when I become a drug addict, I changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Even though my mom advised me a little bit of thing, I also can't accept. I will scold her. I will get angry. It's quite hard for me that time. And then even though in 2001 and 2002, if I'm not mistaken, 2002, because of all the pressure, I cannot get rid. So I tried to suicide. Actually, not try. It's already finished one whole bottle of Dettol. So
Wow.
because I trying to end my life, I didn't think of, I didn't think anything. I just said if I die, it's more easier than making my life getting hard. It's not easy to get through that actually at that time
Mm-hmm.
because I involved in lots of things, and then I feel life is quite pressure. And then even with my father's relationship is also a very big gaps. I trying to compare with my friends. Why my all my friends they have a good father. Actually, my father is really good, but it's only me. I am the problem. I am one to having the problem. So I cannot get rid of them. So all the pressure get into me. So I try to end my life. But if you say want to die, it's also not easy. It's
Mm.
not easy. I finished one whole bottle and then my friend found out because that time I renting a house with my friend. We are sharing uh, the rooms. So my friend found out. They sent me to the hospital. So Alhamdulillah. So at that time, uh, sent me to emergency. Doctor said still not even get through the what Dettol is not burned my stomach yet. So Alhamdulillah, so everything. But uh, I need to be sent to the psychiatric clinic. So even though when I go to the doctor, I quarrel with doctor. I say if a crazy person, if a mental illness person, they won't do this.
Mhm.
They won't do this. It's only a normal person they will get easily find a way to die. I see if I having a mental illness, I won't easily get to suicide. So I keep on quarrel, and then my life is getting worse. Each of weekends, so I spend my time in nightclubs, disco. I drunk with drugs. I'm still working, but my performance is getting worse actually at the time because I don't know what to do. During 2004, there's a tsunami in Indonesia. So the first turning point for me actually, because at that time I myself also Allah made me something to think that what's the purpose I come to this world, and when my life ends, where I will go. Suddenly on the 26th of December, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2004. That day actually I'm planning to go my son to having my son bathing in Batu Ferringhi, Penang, because at that time I don't like my skin if with fair skin. I like with tan skin. So at the day I don't know why, what happened, really, what happens. I cannot wake up. I wake up at 7 something at the day, but the weather outside there is quite yellowish sky. So
Mm.
I feel that it's not sunny day, so I just go back to my room and have a sleep. So until 2 o'clock afternoon, I check out my handphone. There's 42 missed call. I still remember that time my handphone is 3310 Nokia. So 42 missed call because one of my colleagues know that I'm going to the beach. She called the last call that I received is she just asked me, where are you? I said, no, I'm just at home. I just wake up. So she didn't talk much, just hang up. And then later in 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, five something in the afternoon, she called again. You go and check and see the internet. Just watch the YouTube.
Mhm.
So when I watch the YouTube, oh my God, the beach that I'm going is having a tsunami. I, I, I thought I'm still dreaming because I'm still at the period of not really good because I'm still taking drug at that time. So I keep on watching, and then one of the video is about Aceh in Masjid Ar Rahmah nearby the Hindi Ocean. It's quite attractive. Is what all around the masjid is all clear. It's only masjid, the building of masjid in the middle of the empty land. So that's something that clicked on me. See, there's someone who controls this, but I don't know who. I don't know who. The feeling is like this, and then keep on day by day. Something is keep on let me to think, and then
Mhm.
one thing is thinking of my mom. Where is my mom's sons? Because I keep on quarrel with her, and then sometimes I, even those I stay nearby, stay inside, stay in the same island, nearly sometimes 6 months. I didn't go back. I didn't call them. So something is not so. I see there's something is wrong with me. And then the third turning point is when I watch a forum in Malaysia. There's a forum perdana. There's an Islamic program actually. So at the end of the program, they will start say Islam is the way of life. There's something quotes that is very interesting because I didn't been through since the previous religion I go through. I didn't heard that. That's the new quotes for me. So start from there. I trying to search. I trying to do the research, but still need time. Actually, that's in 2005, I think. 2005. So start that time. I start studying about Islam and then look for more information about Islam until some one day I can't control myself really because in the beginning I just want to do a simple research and then have my own study, and then I told my friend I want to become a Muslim. Mostly of my Muslim friend they didn't agree
Mhm.
because they just treat me as a joke, just like a joke. It's quite sad actually, quite sad. And then when I go around in Malaysia, there's a few masjid. I go and ask them, I want to become a Muslim. Mostly they didn't give me an accurate answer. They all turn me out with an answer that you go to the religion office, you go to Perking. No one showed me the way actually. It's nearly 1 year. I take
Mhm.
1 year time. I was quite upset at that time. I said, all around me is all Muslim. But why? Nobody will come me compared to my previous religion. When I see I want to baptize, they sending all their delegates from each different church to come and welcome me. But when I ask myself, I offer myself to become a Muslim, why people is keep on rejecting me and keep giving me the same answer. You go to the religion office, you go to the Pakim NGO. How do I know I'm not a Muslim? How do I know where is the religion office? What is Pakim for me? So I quite upset until in July or in August, one of my friend that's a quite long time friend, we lost contact. He contacted me up. His name is Aziz. I just told him, I say, Aziz, I want to become a Muslim. The first question he asked, you want to marry the Malay girl? So, so I said, you know me, I'm a workaholic, so I don't have time to go dating for this. I just say I want to become a Muslim. I want to get into Islam. I want to know more about Islam. I want to become a Muslim because at that time it's nearly 2 months before Ramadan, I think, because we are having our Ramadan in October, end of September at that time. So I just told him, I said, I want to become a Muslim, but I don't know what's the actual official way to become a Muslim. I don't even know we need to shahada. I just told him, and then he's trying to arrange, but it's quite long time, taking quite long time, and then waiting until end of Ramadan is in 26 Ramadan.
Mhm.
My Aziz called me up. He said, Kelvin, my previous name is Kelvin, so I cannot come and fetch you now. We need to wait after Raya. Oh my God, I really disappointed because I put a lots of hope on him because he is the only hopes I can get through. But he also give me some answer that I need to wait, because as what I hope is I can have my Ramadan puasa officially as a Muslim on that time. But it's nearly end on this 26th Ramadan. And then he called up, he said he cannot come. He cannot come and meet me, only can meet me up after Raya. So I really upset. One whole day. And then during on the 6th, I think it's about 6:30 in the afternoon, he called me up again. Kevin, I come and pick you up tonight. I said, you don't, is that true? You don't make a joke, because just now you said you cannot come. And then now you said you want to pick me up tonight. I said, which one is true? Because I'm at that time I'm very upset and I'm very stressful because I cannot get myself what I want, because it's different. When I want to become a Muslim, the condition is different. That I sometimes if I want something, if I cannot get it, I just forget it. But when I want to become a Muslim, the feeling is different. If once I still cannot get it, I still want it. The feeling is totally different. That's what's my previous life before. So I just told him, please don't make a joke on me.
Mm.
Don't make me upset again. He promised. He said, after iftar, he come and pick me up. So he come and pick me up in Penang, and then he sent me. He come with his one of his colleague, and then pick me up there and bring me to Perak. At that night, I reached the masjid in Perak. Batu Kurau is about 2 o'clock in the morning. Then both of them bring me into the masjid and then meet up and then Ustaz, because it's end of 10 days, they having a gathering in masjid. They having the Kamala in masjid. So the Ustaz asked me, are you really prepared to become a Muslim? Yes, I said. Okay, you just follow me. So that time I recited my Shahada. It's when that time when I recite my Shahada, only I know so easy when I want to become a Muslim. Why people all around me cannot show me the easy way, the easiest way for me. Alhamdulillah, on that day I start my fasting. On the same day is my first salat is on the Friday morning, my subuh, and then my first salat Jumaat, and then my first iftar, my first fasting on the 27th of Ramadan, 1427 Hijrah. Is on the date of 20th October 2006. So during that time, I just decided I want to quit all my job. I resign, and then I want to study full time about Islam. So start from them. Then 2006 until 2013, my journey. I take 7 years from zero to basic to complete my diploma in Islamic study in 2013. And then Alhamdulillah, I just completed my degree in Islamic study. I just graduate on this April. So I'm still studying. So that's my a bit my journey for my rebirths.
Mm. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. Thank you for such a epic journey. Sorry, I'm actually having quite a terrible feedback on my side. I'm maybe brother Iskandar, you can speak first or exit and come back in. Okay, brother Iskandar, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What do you mean? Speak first.
You can proceed first to speak to brother Syafiq. Ask him any questions if you have any. I'll leave and come back in again. I think it's something to do with the audio from my side. Okay.
I see. Yeah. It's really, first of all, like, thank you for sharing the story, because an amazing story with so many details. Actually, it's also, you know, with ups and lows, and you know, it's very it's kind of soul, you laid your soul bare, you know, in front of an audience, and I think that's really awesome that you did that. So thanks for that.
No.
And second of all, I noticed in the beginning of your story, you talked about
I choose this one.
that your grandmother was a Taoist, right?
Yeah.
And that you followed the religion of Taoism because it was expected of you, because it, you know, that's what your ancestors do, right? And I think I think I had a similar sort of experience, and I think many people choose to follow their, you know, their cultural religion just because it's expected of them. And yeah, I mean, it's just so recognizable and so applicable in so many situations that I think your story is really relevant for many people when we listen to it like this. But yeah, I've actually so many things to say, but I don't want to take too much time.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brother Iskandar. So I just do a quick summary of what you just shared, so that, you know, maybe the audience who came in later could get a full picture of what you shared. So in the beginning, you said that you were a Taoist because probably it's a hereditary, inherited from your parents, right? Your parents were
Yes.
Taoists, but you don't really know much about Taoism. Also, you just sort of like going with the flow, and but it didn't speak to you. It didn't resonate with you at that point of time. So you decided to go and discover more about Buddhism. And from the journey of discovering more Buddhism, yeah, it again did not give you any answer to how you can connect with the creator. It was more like a way of life instead of, you know, giving you a direct connection with your creator. Is that correct? I think
Yeah,
so. That's
something
where you
still
find
still
missing.
happen, the emptiness inside of me. I can't get the real answer that I want, because at that time I don't know what this creative is, but there's an emptiness inside of me. I'm
Mhm.
still not satisfied with the answer I'm trying to search. I can't get the answer yet at the time.
Yeah. So you don't feel like there's a void in your heart, there's something that's missing, and you didn't get an answer. So you decided to, you know, carry on this journey of discovering about your meaning of life and finding the creator. And eventually you met a group of friends who are Protestants, Christians, and you went to their house for some prayer sessions, and you see them making dua. In Islam, dua is like supplication in English. It's not like the formal prayer, but it's just like raising up your hands and asking God for help, or, you know, just talking to God directly in that sense. And so through the experience, you were attracted to Christianity, and you followed your friends. But somehow, even during this time of, you know, exploring Christianity, there was still an answer that what you were looking for and you couldn't find. And throughout that whole time as a Christian, you eventually find that, you know, it's not really what you wanted, and you couldn't get the answer still, and therefore you ended up becoming a free thinker. You just didn't want a religion to tell you, you know, what is the meaning of life anymore. You just wanted to live your life as you are, and try to make yourself happy in any way possible. So during this journey as a free thinker, um, you were still searching, and you resorted to drugs at the end of the day, because you were affected by a lot of life problems as well at the same time. And these were sort of your answers to life, and you became addicted to it, and you also started selling it, hoping that, you know, because it's a lucrative business, and you can see people are also attracted to drugs, so therefore you were leading a life such as this. But eventually you kept going lower and lower and lower down the rabbit hole or something like that, keep going down, and it did not pick you up to a human that is more dignified, a person who has, you know, a true sense of himself, understanding the meaning of his life, what is his purpose of being in this world, and how he could not only support himself but also his community and those around him. So you needed to find an answer somehow, and you couldn't find, and life was getting bad. You were arguing and fighting your parents, your dad, to a point that you contemplated of ending your life. And as situation get worse, you started to drop a whole bottle of Dettol down, and you and it wasn't your time, so you
You cannot
didn't.
die.
You still did die, and
What we call is die hard.
yeah, and your friend came to your rescue. In some sense, he brought you to the hospital. Doctor said you were lucky that the Dettol did not seep into your stomach and start burning up all your organs, and you were saved. And you were still arguing with the doctor, and you still tried so hard to figure out how to end your life, right? But you just couldn't. And and you wanted to sort of go to the beach one day to just contemplate about life. And just so happened it's also the time when our catastrophic event happened around Asia and around the world as the tsunami. But you didn't know that was coming. So, but that day, so miraculously, you also didn't wake up in time. You didn't go to the beach in time. But you had over 40 over missed calls. Your friends were trying to reach you, thinking that you might do something silly. And the tsunami happened, and you were saved from it. You weren't at the beach. If you were there, you would have been swept away by it. And afterwards, you saw a masjid in the TV. Is it
Yeah,
that
in
singular masjid
YouTube, actually, it said
on YouTube?
there's an amateur video. They
Mhm.
videoed it up, and then they quite lots of people shared it at that time during the tsunami. So
Mhm.
I just watch it. Actually, there's a lots of video about tsunami in Penang, in Aceh. So I just watch it. The most attracted me is the Aceh, the Masjid Ar Rahmah. It's quite
Mm.
attractive because all around the masjid is empty, clear. It's only masjid in between the empty land.
Yeah.
So says, let me think about there's someone or something that is controlling this universe.
Mhm. So this masjid he's referring to is Masjid Baitur Rahman. Rahman means the merciful, the most merciful. So, I mean, if you look at this, it's something like Allah is saying, I keep this masjid protected, and everywhere else is gone. And that gave you sort of like a awakening, and you realize that who is protecting this religious site, this mosque, right, in the middle of Aceh. And that got you inquisitive, and you decided to research more a bit about Islam, and your heart was ready to submit to Allah. And at the point of time, you did ask people how to be a Muslim, right? And most of them were thinking you were joking about it. They didn't take you seriously. You went even to the mosque, and some of them just give you very not very direct instructions of what to do. They just leave you to do everything yourself, and which you are quite lost. And even your friend during Ramadan that Sunday called you, the first question he asked you was, are you doing this because you want to marry a Malay? Because in Malaysia, it's like mostly
Yes.
the majority there are Malays, and he's thinking that you're going to be marrying one. That's why you want to be a Muslim. And afterwards, you even tried, you still held on to that will to be a Muslim, and that's what's very impressive, I find. And even at that point, um, somehow I think Allah brought him back to you, and said that he's going to pick you up, and you started to doubt if he's being serious or not. But Alhamdulillah, you went with it, and eventually you went to the mosque and you take your shahada. And mashallah, such a beautiful journey. Just want to add, on the point of how people say you want to be a Muslim because you want to marry someone. This is a very common question that even I myself get, which I would like to also put it out here that, brothers and sisters, we should not be asking this question to anyone who of a different race, coming into to Islam, because it's can imply, that you are implying that we are pretending to be Muslim so that just to marry somebody, which is quite offensive to someone who really want to dedicate his heart to Allah. And the assumption itself feels really like you have downgraded our faith to a point that it's just out of marriage, which is not true all the time. So I hope that we should refrain from such questions in the future, especially for new people who really want to embrace Islam. In fact, we should just straight away ask him, what makes you attracted to Islam? What is your story? Or go and find out if he roughly know the basics about Islam, so he know what he's getting himself into, and then start to take his shahada. That's what he wanted to do, to take his shahada already. So why are we holding it back, right? So I think he made a very important point here that we all should take note. Such questions can actually be unwarranted, basically. That's what I have to say. Thank you, brother, so much for that sharing. I hope I didn't take too much of the airspace here. but
Sure.
but yeah, because I just got carried away, and I thought, you're such a beautiful story here. Any questions you have, Sister Risi or Brother Iskandar, you can go ahead to proceed to ask any questions.
Hi. I don't really have any question right now, but I just want to say, like, there's this quote that I heard in this podcast by Sheikh Hamza Yusuf that talks about a religious man is someone who doesn't want to go to hell, but a spiritual man is someone who's been to hell and doesn't want to go back. And I feel like that perfectly describes your story. Like you've been to hell, through all these drugs, through like these like days that blends into nights and everything. As someone who's used drugs in the past, I know what it's like to, not know what's going on, and that feeling is kind of is over consuming. But it's also, I feel like Islam is one of those religions that, like, it's one of those freest thinking religion. A lot of people think Islam is like a narrow minded one, but truly everyone else who is like free thinkers, they are still entrapped or enslaved by society's values and goals of what they determine to be success. You'll see that a lot of free thinkers, instead of having, worshiping God, they have a whole stash of books about self-help, how to become a millionaire, how to become Jeff Bezos, and how to become rich and famous and whatnot. And this is their idea of free thinking. Or they might just, if they're a girl, they might, bear it all, post on Instagram, get as many likes as possible, thinking that they're free and liberated, that their soul is like, out there, and that they're, somehow not enslaved by society, but they still are. So I really, really like the points that you mentioned. And, mashallah, like the whole entire flood, like nothing is really a coincidence. And also that part where you told the doctor, like that, a mental person wouldn't do that. Only a sane person would be sane enough to realize, the absurdities of life and try to act upon it. And, like we're all in Islam right now, because otherwise we would all be in very terrible situations. So, alhamdulillah for everything.
Mashallah. Great sharing, sister. Brother Iskandar, do you have anything to share? Brother Iskandar, by the way, did study about Buddhism. He even wanted to become a kung fu, learn kung fu from a temple. So he actually learned quite in depth in Buddhism. Maybe you can give a brief, what is the difference between. I know you shared it in the Ramadan series, but I think now it's quite appropriate to share a bit of Buddhism and Taoism. What's the difference?
Difference between Buddhism and Taoism. I think it's very hard to explain because first of all, I think in Buddhist practice and in Buddhist religion, as well as in Taoist practice and Taoist religion, there's a difference between the principles and the philosophy and between what people do. So when Buddha said, don't look for me because after I'm dead, and people still offer incense and pray to his statues, that's like a divide between theory and practice, in my opinion, right? And I think the same goes for Taoism, right? I don't think there's a specific doctrine in the Tao Te Ching that explains why there is a polytheistic pantheon in Taoism. And I think that this divorce is making a lot of people confused, including me. And I think this is also true for Brother Liow. I don't know what to explain actually, because it's very broad, and we could sit here for like 5 days and still be talking about it. So,
well, I guess the last time you stopped talking about something about starting from one and starting from zero, that concept, like a broad concept about it. So it's something
So because when we say as Muslims, we say that the ultimate truth belongs to Allah, right? I mean, everything came from Allah. But I think the Buddhists, they say that the truth is void, that everything came from nothing. And I think there's a fundamental difference between Buddhism and Taoism, in that the Taoists say that there was what they call Taiji, or the first extreme origin, where the first thing came from. And I think, that's a big difference. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Brother Iskandar, on the difference between Taoism and Buddhism. So, do you have questions for Brother Syafiq, about his journey, or anything you'd like to add for the comment?
Yeah, because I think suicide is a very heavy topic, and once again, because I haven't gone through that process myself personally, I can't really comment on it. But I think suicide these days is becoming a bigger and a much bigger problem than it was before. And because in Holland, I'm seeing a lot of people increasingly, the youth committing suicide. I think in Japan this is also the case, and I don't know about Singapore, but I think it might be beneficial for us to, share, the suicide hotline for people who might be dealing with these issues. But I wanted to ask the brother specifically how Islam helped you with suicidal thoughts, or if that's something that came later, or if specifically that.
Okay, so before we go to Brother Shafiq, just so you know, right? Singapore, so everywhere around the world have increasing suicide rates, lah. So it's yeah. So
now
that's
suddenly,
so Brother Shafiq. Okay.
yeah.
What exactly is in Islam that took you, give you hope, that didn't want to get you commit suicide, again, or what exactly is in Islam that you feel there's the void being filled, and eventually you don't want to leave this religion? What exactly is that?
Okay, so as the beginning, I told you that I attracted with the quotes of Islam is the way of life. Actually, I searched for it because I myself, during I'm in diploma and the semester 1 and semester 2, I still got a lot of query about myself. Why I need to do the prayers, the salat? Why I need to do all the fasting? I keep on asking myself, if I didn't do this, nobody will know. But one thing, when we submit to Allah, Allah is looking on me. Allah is checking on me every time, every single day. So I try to understand what the really inside our salat. So actually, I found out when we're doing our salat, we are doing our niat. We having our niat, and which one is intention. Actually, the intention train us to become a normal human. So every time when you are having your daily routine, you are doing because in the name of Allah. So that's the main point I found out in salat. And then what we ever recite during our salat, ihdinas siratal mustaqim. We ask Allah to show us the right path. But do we do it in our daily life, our daily routine? We go into the right path, or we trying to find the shortcut? So that's bring me back my belief, bring me back my life. So life is so beautiful. Even though I didn't gain such high salary for today, but I feel the happiness. My life, I feel the satisfaction. Yeah, now because now I'm working as a freelance, even though I doing the radio program in Malaysia, RPM, for the Mandarin version in Islamic content. Actually, I'm a producer on it. So yeah, even though I didn't gain a lots of money, but I still feel happy. The internal part is not what I have now, but it's what I gain from my inside. So actually, it's made me more clearer, because we doing our prayers, we doing our dua. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzaban nar. We ask Allah, to give us the peacefulness in reality today, the dunya, and the peacefulness in eternity. So we having a two station. This is a transit, and then this is a transit to gain all our good deeds to bring to the eternity. So it's make my life actually all when I start study Quran, is make me more clearer about life. You have to responsible on it. What the Creator have give you. Yeah, even though yes, we having each people also have their hard time, but how do you going to find the solution? It's not suicide. It's not you getting into the drugs. You can settle all the problems. It's only the internal part when you submit to the Creator. You only can. This is the only way you can find a way. If not, you can't get rid of it. You will keep yourself still digging, and then you digging the hole is like ostrich, keep on hiding. But you can't find a way out. Actually, I take a few years because after I embrace Islam, in the beginning also the I have the regret actually. I want get out from Islam again at the beginning, but Allah made me think again. It's not easy. I think in my journey so long, Allah tested me without anybody welcome me during I'm going to submit myself to Islam. So that's made me get my strength to hold on it and then keep on upgrade myself with Islamic study Islamic information, and then I try to blend with my daily life. Yes, Islam is the way of life. It's not only the ritual for the 5 minutes, but the ritual, all the salat, all the ibadat is bringing to our daily routine. It's blend together. We can separate it. If we separate it, so will we become a fake Muslim? You only submit to Allah during the time of Salat. You only submit to Allah during the fasting period. But we need to submit to Allah fully. Even though in Quran also said, please submit yourself fully. Only Allah will open the way for us. So Alhamdulillah, in this region, yes, make me stronger, even though I'm not a rich guy now, even though I didn't gain any high salary. Alhamdulillah, I don't even have a hard time on my economy, even though, yeah, Alhamdulillah, everything is blessed. Alhamdulillah. It's only when the time when you still feel stressed, yes, we have the way. We can have a wudu, we can recite the Quran and then just read on the translation to get understand deeper part. You will find a way. But for first thing, when you embrace yourself to Islam, yes, you have to learn. You have to know what the religion is. You can't just simply follow what people do and you do it. Because in the beginning, yes, I'm following people, what people do, I do. But I didn't understand what's really inside the religion taught me. So that's my way actually. So Alhamdulillah, it's already 15 years from 2006 until now. Alhamdulillah, there's lots of things, and then quite satisfied, and then Alhamdulillah, I feel so blessed, and then I sometimes I can share with my new brother and sister, even though I'm using my Mandarin language to teach them in Fatu Ain, sharing with them. So actually, this is the way to upgrade ourselves and then to bring it our religion into the life, into the daily life. It's not religion a part of religion, but religion is inside our daily life. We cannot separate it. So this is what we call Islam is a way of life. So actually, I found that what's the behind is Islam is the way of life.
Mashallah. Thanks for sharing such a beautiful answer to this question. What I'd like to ask you next is, what are your challenges that you faced after you? I mean, I heard your challenges that you shared before you embraced
Yeah.
Islam. So, what are the challenges after? How did you tell your parents about it? And were there any problems you faced after embracing Islam?
Alhamdulillah, for my family and my relative, they have not, they didn't object me. I keep it for 1 year because at that time, I don't know, Allah keep on turning me, keep on turn my heart to, because at that time I'm studying for my certificate in Islamic studies. So actually, before this, before I'm a Muslim, I seldom call my parents. But after my revert, my heart's turning different. Keep on let me thinking about my parents.
Mm.
When I call my mom asking me, how's your works? Actually, I'm not working. I'm studying about Islam. So I try not to lie. I just say, but at that time, how long that I can I want to keep it like this? I cannot keep on lying. So at the end, when I having my semester break, I going back to my hometown. Actually, I think maybe in the beginning, my mom also found out already because last time I have a long hair, and then twice a week I will change my hair color. Even though my father also, Mongan is very tired already, my father, because my father is a conservative Chinese, so he don't like his own son to become like such like those style. Even though I pierce earring, and then when he found out I pierce one more again and doing my tattoo, everything. Uh, this is what my father looked at me at that time. But when after my reverts, I shorten my hair, I become bald. So I think at that time my mom found out, but something wrong with my son. I just don't want to let her worry because maybe she will think that I just come out from jail. Yeah, you just bought. Where's your hair? So I don't want to let her worry. So, but when the semester break, I going back. So I asked her. I asked her to go and visit my auntie, which was the elder sister of my mom. It's a few years already. I didn't go visit them because when I get into the drug problem, so I don't even visit all my relatives. But after the semester break, I go and visit, and then suddenly my auntie asked me, "What are you doing now? Are you studying about Islam?" I said, "Subhanallah, how my auntie know? Because already a few years I didn't meet them. So how? Why the question will come out from her mouth?" So my mom come out from the kitchen, just told me, "I don't care what religion you go to. The most important thing, you can take care of yourself." MashaAllah, at that time, all the thing that I kept for 1 year, I just bring it up. Alhamdulillah, my mom accepted, and then even though my auntie, but in the beginning, yes, there's a few cousins that different region, they have a gaps between me, because I don't know why. Maybe of all uh, the fake news that made them scared about Muslim. But Alhamdulillah, I'm taking a few years to keep on contacting with them, and then keep on the relation go on. Each time of festive season, I going back to visit them, especially on CNY. CNY, I go and to visit my relative, and now Alhamdulillah, all my relative is very good connection now. Alhamdulillah. But the most challenging is from our Muslim community itself.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
I still remember in the beginning, 2 years after my reversion, a few person come and talk to me, and then when he know uh, I am a new Muslim, he trying to test on me. Can you please recite your Shahada one more time?
Wow.
Actually, it says a few. It's not one, a few person in different area. They keep on testing me. And then even though one time I go to Salat Jum'ah in one masjid, one guy after the prayers, one guy chase on me and then keep on yelling on me. And then he stopped me. He said, because at that time I'm wearing a white t-shirt.
Mhm.
So during my Salat Jum'ah, because my tattoo is at my back, it's quite clear when I having my I put on a white t-shirt. He called me. You know this haram is you have a tattoo. After you die, how people going to take the make your hadas besar everything? He keep on yelling on me. He don't even let me to talk. I feel so frustrated at that time, but I just keep quiet. And then after he's scolding, yelling on me, then he just walk away. He don't even ask me. Don't even give me a salam. So it's quite upset at that time. I said, why our community of Muslim like this? He should come and know me and then to give us salam. Because even though Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also asks us, please start with salam first. But he didn't. He just kept chasing on me, and then until in front of the masjid, and then he's yelling on me and then scold me because of my tattoo. So that's my experience actually. So actually, this thing made me more to get more strength to learn more about Islam. Because I know sometimes when they talk, maybe they don't even have the knowledge on it. So it made me more strength and made me to find a way to get to know more about Islam. Alhamdulillah. Nowadays also I also doing kuliah in masjid all around in Klang Valley. Even sometimes I have others invitation in other states. Alhamdulillah. So I mostly bring up Islam is the way of life, the topic and the topic of da'wah, how we share message of Islam, especially with our neighbors. It's, that's the challenging way, like, because mostly the challenging part is from our Muslim community itself. From non-Muslim, alhamdulillah, I have a good community, and then they even though my former previous schoolmate also sometimes they also ask me about the question about Islam. I just let them know. Like, don't feel shy. Don't feel just come easily and come ask me. I will tell you what I know. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, it's a very good point you made. Regarding firstly the tattoo and how the guy didn't even say salam to you at first, knowing that you're a Muslim, and also that the fact that if you want to advise someone, you should use adab also, not shout all the way and just trying to get a point across, but without understanding the situation initially. This tattoo was, what you had on before you became a Muslim, so it doesn't come off immediately. Tattoos are quite permanent. In
Yeah,
fact,
yeah.
it takes a long time, even if you want to take it off, and to have to heal it back, right? So we should not be so judgmental as a community. I agree on that point. Also, that we should always give people the benefit of doubt that they are trying their best to be practicing Muslim also. They just entered the religion, so they are also on a journey of discovering more about Islam and to eventually become a 100% practicing Muslim. So you have to give them the chance to practice their Islam. So yeah, I think that you make a lot of sense. In fact, sometimes people immediately assume when you're Chinese, you are not a Muslim. As long as you're not
Yes.
in Southeast Asia, yeah, as long as you're not Malay or something, you're immediately not a Muslim. So I also do face some of the situation, even like queuing up for nasi padang sometimes. People, when I say salam, they won't reply me because they think that I'm not Muslim. Why they should reply me? So I will jokingly sometimes just either say Fatiha or say a Shahada. Then okay, this guy is a Muslim. But over time they start to know my face around, so so they get used to me. Yeah, so that does make you make a very strong point, because the main thing is, as a community, we all should learn to be more accepting of others, less judgmental, and the more you exude salam or love towards people, people are more attracted to the religion, and also attracted to people who are nice, right? So you tend to want to ask questions about Islam because you're nice. Yeah, thanks for sharing that challenges that you face, brother. What other, let's say, okay, advice you can give with regards to suicide? So okay, I want to share with you guys, like earlier, why this is important, because now currently in the situation of COVID-19, we are all in lockdown. We have most of us at least in lockdown. I don't know about the rest of the world. um but this is taking a mental toll on a lot of people, and people have also need some mental support. And even in Singapore, right, the statistics for suicide cases is also quite high recently. So hang on, let me see, I can show you this. Yeah, so this is just from Channel News Asia. Not long ago, we have the highest in 8 years amid COVID-19 pandemic, and 452 suicide case. So why I'm sharing this is because also it's an important point to take note that a lot of people are suffering through mental stress, and there's a hotline in Singapore. For Singapore it's 24 hours, and this is the hotline. Okay, it's the Samaritans of Singapore. You can reach out to them. For those who are currently watching this, a friend who might be going through
Yeah.
difficult situation now, you can call this hotline or get them to call this hotline. Give them the moral support and understand what they are probably facing right now. We should be more understanding and sensitive to what they're going through. So this is the hotline. For those who want, you can write it down, and you can share with those who need it. Yeah. Yeah, brother Iskandar said that in Holland the suicide hotline is 113, by the way. So for those Dutch out there who's watching this, you can also know the number is 113. All right. I think Sister Reese is gonna share. What's the hotline for Toronto? I don't know. Maybe she will find out and share it also. Okay, so for some of the comments here I see, they're asking if you know Sheikh Hussein Yi, because he's in Malaysia. Have you met him? And um, you can look for him for some advice on
Yeah.
Islamic. Yeah. So, Brother Shafiq, maybe for tonight we're going to end the session already. Do you have
Uh,
any advice for new reverts and Muslims alike? Final words or advice to us to encompass the entire session tonight. Yeah, please share with us an advice.
Inshallah. For all the community, lah, all around the world, because now we are having, especially the suicide cases getting higher, even in Malaysia. Even in Malaysia, once, I think 3 to 4 cases per week. 3 to 4 cases per week. It's compared to before this, that's a lot. So one thing, try to get someone to talk, a good listener to talk. You need to voice up. You need to speak up. Don't keep it by yourself. When you keep it by yourself, you are alone. You are getting stressful. Try to get someone, and then even though we are the community around, need also to take care and alert people around us, because people, when they are in such beginning stage to getting to commit suicide, actually they have a different reaction there, and the emotion is the emotion part is a lots of different to normal. So we need ourselves also, we need to care and take alert note all people near us. And then for our new Muslim, don't stop learning, because when you stop learning, you will do not know, you will not enjoying what the religion teaches. Don't stop learning, because the knowledge in Islam is wide, and limitless. It's without any limit. So once you have time, keep on learning, because Islam is a religion that can fulfill our daily life routine. Because for me, my experience to previous different religion, only the truth religion, Islam, can bring us to become a normal and then peaceful internal person. Inshallah. Don't stop learning. Keep on update yourself. Keep
Sure.
on go through with the community. Get to know others. Inshallah.
One more advice on us about how to help someone to kick the habit of taking drugs. Like,
Okay.
some people might
So,
have the
okay.
habit.
For me, my first stage is I quarantine myself from the friends that they taking drugs. We need to quarantine ourselves. So which means you need to go out from that community. You cannot go in again because we are weak. Human normally we are weak, and then we are quite easy to get back to that group if you didn't quarantine yourself. So you need to get out from the community first. Don't mix up with them because you can't find any benefit on it. One thing, just think, do we want to end our life with the addiction, or do we want to make our life to be more meaningful when we end it? Just think. That's the only way, because you need to quarantine. You need to separate yourself from the drugs addict community. Don't
Mhm.
go and mess up with them.
Mashallah, beautiful advice, brother. I also like to add that, first is you have to also know the signs that you're addicted to something, right? Some people might be addicted to pornography, some people might be addicted to drugs and that. So you first have to recognize the signs that you have an addiction. And after recognizing those signs, you must first come to terms with it and know that you can actually seek help and admit that you're addicted to it. So you also have to agree and admit, come face to face with it. So you should not have this kind of feeling that you can overcome everything. You need help, so you need to seek help. And there's all these hotlines you can find online where they can help you kick an addiction, even for smoking if you want to quit smoking. So drugs are also one of those things. So thank you so much, brother, for sharing this beautiful story, brother Shafiq, and also for your revert story, which I hope inshallah will inspire everyone, will benefit everyone from tonight's session. And we hope that all of you have a beautiful week ahead, inshallah. And may Allah bless all of you. And we see you again next week. We will talk about heaven and hell. Are they real? And looking forward to Ustaz Saifur Rahman to share his wisdom with us on that. So tune in next Sunday to watch that episode. Thank you again, brother Shafiq, and to everyone out there on our watching, to our viewers out there. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.